So, there was a point in time where we were playing the pre-written 5th edition game, Curse of Strahd. Tyler was in this game. They had gone through, they had gotten pretty far. They got through Barovia, they had gotten through all these other places. They had fought the hags, they had done all these creepy things. And they hadn't really had many encounters with Strahd yet. They had more or less... Oh, I should also preface, I was DMing the game, and Tyler was playing a Dragonborn Paladin?
Human Paladin.
Human Paladin named Tholex. And everybody else was playing like different characters. It's not very necessary. Oh, Jordan was in the game, and he was playing a Goblin Rogue.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Argo.
Argo, yeah.
Argo, I can't remember. He had like a little Tygo. Anyways, we were playing the game, and we started off this game pretty normal, really spooky, and everybody was heading to this castle called Argynvostholt. Essentially, the setting was like a creepy, abandoned castle that was once home to paladins of a dragon called Argynvost, who was like a silver dragon who long ago aimed to kill Strahd in his domain. For those of you who don't know, Strahd is a vampire, and the setting to the campaign takes place in like his like mini dimension where the players are trapped and they have to eventually defeat him. So they're in this castle and they're going through and they're like, maybe we'll find some cool loot here. They don't know. They're just going through it. As they're going through the dungeon, they find paladins who are like long dead but have come back as revenants, and they have to fight them and things like that. All they know is that Argynvost, the silver dragon, is dead. There's pretty much no hope here whatsoever. So you guys started going through the castle, and eventually you find this guy. I don't really remember his name.
I don't remember his name, but he was sitting on like the throne or something.
Yeah, he was sitting on the throne, and you walked over to him, and he was just really grumpy, really mean.
Yeah, he was
just like, okay,
whatever. My character was like super serious. He was the grumpy man of the group, except this guy was even more grumpy than him, and so that didn't mesh very well.
No, not very well. And the players start arguing with him, and they eventually find out that this guy it's just this old like revenant who just feels defeated and has no life left in him, and only seeks to destroy Strahd. And so he's questioning the characters.
But also didn't want to go after Strahd too.
No, because he felt like it was useless. So
only purpose is to destroy Strahd, but he wouldn't go after Strahd. So
regardless, the players are almost just like enemies to him. Just like, well, we're gonna defeat Strahd, and he's like, well, you're an idiot. And they're like, well, we're on the side of Strahd. Well, you're also an idiot. So they're not having it. But the only thing about this room is that there's this huge hole in the ceiling just right above them. Just huge caved-in hole because it's an old castle that's been destroyed for a long time. And he's just sitting there on a throne. They're like, well, what the heck do we do with this place? We don't know what to do. They get up on the roof, and there's nothing on the roof, and they don't know what to do. I think the paladin informs you of this, that if you were to bring back the skull of Argynvost
and bring it up to the tower,
it would shed a beacon for all to see in all of Barovia, spreading hope to everyone. And the players are like, well, crap, where's that thing? And the paladin's like, it's in Castle Ravenloft. And the players are like,
god damn it.
Yeah, well, I guess we're not getting this. And I'm sitting there just kind of like, this feels anticlimactic. It's just like you do this entire dungeon just to find out that there's no hope. And that's it. And I kind of felt that was a little lame. So I did a dastardly evil thing, and I went against the rules of the book. So as they're about to leave the castle, behind them is a strike of lightning and thunder. And Strahd stands before them, taunting them, holding the skull in front of them. And they all just are like, oh shit! So immediately, Argo, Jordan's character, is just like, you're gonna give us that back, bitch. And Tyler's character like ready for battle. Logan's also playing. He's playing like a wizard.
Yeah, well, we're all getting ready to try and mess up Strahd, but Strahd's probably gonna mess us up. We're hoping for the best at this point.
It's also raining at the same time.
It was raining. It was super like the ambiance for it was like perfect. Like lightning, rain.
Like as a DM, I'm sitting back just like, wait, it's raining. Strahd is hurt by water. So I was like, Strahd casts a spell that gives him an invisible shield around him so rain doesn't hurt him. And everyone's like, oh, okay. They start fighting Strahd, and they're like level 4, like 4 or 5. They're way over under leveled for this.
I think we're 5.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, they're gonna die. So the players are like freaking out. They're getting really creative with what they want to do. Jordan's character Argo goes over and he takes a rope and a grapple, and he's a goblin. He's like this tall, and he throws it around Strahd's leg, pulls him down, and Strahd falls off the roof and splats into the water, and all Argo does is like, well, I just pull him through the water. It's this epic battle with Strahd, and there's a goblin wrapping his rope around his leg, just dragging him through water. Strahd's just like burning. He's like, ah! It's like water's just destroying him. And at this point, Strahd gets up, takes the rope, pulls Argo, and throws him into the hole. And Argo's character falls, is able to catch himself and wait there. And he doesn't know what to do at that point. He's just like, well, I need help.
At the same time, I already had an idea, and I was hoping he would get down onto the lower roof, which is so. There were like 2 roofs. There was one where he was at, and then there was one where we were at, which is
there was like a roof on top of the ceiling, and then there was the ceiling, and then that's below there.
And then that's where the hole was into the main chamber, actually in front of the Revenant guy.
The priest. So like Argo like falls inwards and holds onto the string, and the paladin's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing." Because if he tells him Strahd's there, he's gonna freak out. Yeah. So he's just like, "No, we're doing nothing," and you just hear coming from the top of the roof.
So I already had this idea, and so I think Strahd came to attack Grace's character.
Yes.
So
who was playing a Kenku fighter.
Yeah. So she was completely messing her up. She wasn't able to do much.
No, he was getting destroyed.
So I walk up to Strahd and just go, "You're coming with me." I then grapple him, and we do a grapple check.
We did like a grapple check, and I'm like, all right, okay, roll. And I don't know really what's going on. I'm like, why are you grabbing him? Like, I'm not really picking up on what's going on. We go, fails. I'm like, okay, you're grappling Strahd. What are you gonna do now?
So I have him like in a bear hug, and I just walk backwards and fall into the hole. Just like, you're coming with me.
So Tholex, the human paladin, has grappled Strahd, and as he backs up, beginning to fall, I start to go, Oh. Strahd is not invited to Argynvostholt, meaning this is one of his vampire weaknesses. And I go, and I look at Tyler and I'm just like, oh. and I describe them like they're falling in slow motion as they both fall, and Strahd slowly realizes what's going on, and he just begins to scream. He turns into mist and flies off to Castle Ravenloft. And you just fall and hit the floor, and the paladin is sitting in there, and he's just like, what the heck? And you had...
We have the skull of the dragon,
So you had the skull, and he's just like, what the heck is going on? And Argo's just holding there like, oh, well, I guess that's a way to defeat him. And technically you guys defeated him, so you got the XP for it. He didn't die, however, because I still had like the shield around him that was protecting him from water, so...
Plot armor, pretty much.
Whatever.
Well, it also makes sense since we could say since play with the rules a little bit, saying like we didn't defeat him in his lair or something.
Exactly.
So it wasn't like we defeated him, but we didn't fully kill him. We killed him, but he regenerated back in his lair.
Of course, but you still successfully defeated Strahd by grappling him and pulling him into a house that is not his residence that he was invited to.
He was not invited to.
Yep, and so you guys ended up taking the skull, you went all the way up to the top of the tower, and taking it there released like this light that created the dragon Argynvost, like his spirit, and it went across all of Barovia, giving like hope to everybody who was there. And I think you guys got like an inspiration bonus or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we haven't played since then.
Yeah, right. We haven't actually played since then, which sucks. But
we need to. We need to plan a date.
We should. That's how you guys defeated Strahd, by just pulling him into a hole and dragging him across water.
Using creativity.